I want to talk to Samson.
Knock, knock, who's there? It's the guy gathering stairs, spitting circles round the squares, the rest of musical chairs. Playing phased, eyes closed, try not to be scared. Make a Michael Warren, stuttering, stumbling, unprepared. Picture this shit, awkward, nerdy, pervy boy made a sin. Picture the worst thought you've ever had, but add my nuts to your chin. Have you heard of the rapper, little dildo? Check your heard he goes in. And if it's a funny business, though, I think it's time to begin. D-O-N-A-L-D, both Trump and the
On this episode of People Theory, I interview a rapper who shares his experience on being a performer and his journey on how he got into music. His name is Josh Curran, otherwise known as Loktavious. Please check out my boy at your mom's house, Sunday, June 12th from 2:30 to 6 p.m. How have you been, man?
Hey, bro. I've been really, really good. How have you been?
Good, good.
Yeah.
So, before we get, I guess, too into it, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Well, just working on the radio station, hosting down at the Immersive Lighthouse installation down there off of I-25. We got Frida Kahlo and Vincent van Gogh that we have. It's a very interesting art piece. But my music is why I'm here, and that's what I've been doing a lot of. Radio show host on 92.9 FM, and also performing a lot. Just got done doing a show down at the Gravel Pit in Denver. Did that show with DJ Garfield and William the Great, opening for King Cash. Underground legend. We had a pretty decent turnout. Denver always parties up on a Friday night. You know how it goes.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So, as you know, People Theory is all about like getting into your story, kind of where you came from.
Yeah.
And, so where would you say your story begins?
My story begins in the fall of 1992, and there were two lovers that were trying very, very hard to do the best they could, and they did. They succeeded awesomely, and insane trials and tribulations for those two lovers happened over 20 years, and in those 20 years, I learned how to, I learned about music. I thought that I'd never be a musician, but here I am as a musician.
So since I have you on here and you're mainly like here to talk about your music and stuff.
Yeah.
I think if we get into the story about like maybe why you got into music.
Why and how?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in high school or like middle school, like at what point were you like, I want to be a musician?
It originates with me not wanting to be a musician. I grew up listening to like Cake and Tool, Johnny Cash, Filter, Rage Against the Machine. Like, some really wholesome American rock kind of stuff. But I had no aspirations for it. I tried throughout all of school to avoid music, no choir classes. I kind of avoided learning how to read sheet music, but I love poetry. Do you remember Mrs. Freeman by any chance?
Freeman.
Yeah.
What did she teach?
She did a lot of literature at Frederick.
Okay.
But she was a friend of my grandma. And I just like poetry in and of itself. Some of the storytellers in my life that are like the best storytellers are poets. My grandma, when I was like a baby, she'd like read me this story about a coyote that would howl at the moon. Fell in love with the moon, but never could get it. And there was a raven that made fun of it, or a crow, would like give him feathers, jump off of a mountain, and he could never fly, no matter how many feathers that the crow gave him, and the crow would always laugh at him. But like poetry really resonated with me, and I kind of was like in an emo phase in middle school, and then I met this really awesome dude named Raymond Cervantes, and Ray, he taught me a lot about music, and he showed me a lot about the hip hop culture, and I didn't really understand any of it when I met him. My first two hip hop albums were Curtain Call by Eminem and The Great Malenko by the Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
And
I don't think you normally like put those two together.
Well, not really, but like it's for like intro into music for hip hop back then. That's what I got, and I still learning a lot about the culture to this day. But we were just hanging out, getting drunk one day, and he just looks at me and he's like, "So you know how you rhyme words? Why don't you just say that stuff to this beat?" And ever since then, I've been slowly adding and adapting.
So in the
2009, I'd say, is when I started.
okay, so 2000. That's like coming out of high school.
No, so it would have been 2007. So like going into high school, that's when I like first
Okay.
started rhyming. Recorded my first song in 2000, the summer of 2007.
So what grade are you in at that point?
2008 is when I started my freshman year.
Your freshman year. Okay.
Yeah.
So before that, you were like into rock.
No, I was into rock, but I was also like, I just wasn't really music oriented. I was still being like a wallflower, figuring out what the heck I was
Oh,
gonna
okay,
be.
that's fair. That's fair. So like a lot of like I got into like hip hop with a lot of my friends when so we were a big stoner.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd smoke weed and then we'd end up like
Cottonmouth
freestyle
gangs.
rapping. That's kind of why I was friends with Austin
Oh yeah, no.
because I'd go smoke weed with him and then he was really into music and we'd freestyle rap,
Yeah.
right? And
Uh,
that's what kind of got him into it.
I believe back in the day, I also freestyle. I have fuzzy memories from back in the day because it was a while ago. And I apologize, AK, but no, I do remember rhyming with him, and all the people here in Platteville used to hang out, and I used to hang out here in Platteville too. So I'm sure there was times where I was a little not confident. Still to this day, I don't really like freestyling. I don't think I'm that good at it. I prefer to just write some stuff.
I do think that a lot of like rappers that do freestyle are taking stuff that they wrote before. Like I heard it in an Eminem interview. He talks about his like arsenal.
Yeah,
And
you're
it's
like
all the stuff
go-to.
all the stuff he wrote that maybe it's not on an album.
Like a how now brown cow type situation or whatever.
But okay, so like you said 2007. What was your first album?
So my first demo I came out with called, I think some people from high school might still have it in their like collection somewhere. It was called The Twilight. And I was trying to like go a mix between like, I just found out about Tech Nine. Like he changed my entire perspective on humans. Like Tech Nine is such an interesting individual. I tried to be a blend between like ICP and Tech Nine, and it was like super cornily produced. Like I put a headset up to a speaker, and then I would turn the music on, and I would rap into the headset next to the speaker.
Okay.
It was like it was really like janky, but I was proud of it. I only think I made like 10 copies of it, and that was 2009, like my freshman year that I handed that out. And no, 2008, freshman year, and then 2009 was my sophomore year. I came out with the Anti-Po, which was like weird juggalo, like fuck the police. This whole album is because my friends don't get treated right in the streets, and you know we don't sometimes, but also dumb kids are dumb kids, and we need to learn some stuff. But those were just demos, and I totally thought that I was not gonna make music. I was like, this is weird. People don't like my sound. I'm just a juggalo. I like getting high. I just want to party, and I did. I partied my ass off. I ended up leaving Frederick for a while. I went to high school in Fairview in Boulder for a while, and I was still worked on music, but I didn't really like care that much. Then I got out of high school, 2011. Partied my ass off even more. Everybody remembers that, hopefully. And then I kind of just stopped. I had a girlfriend. We tried to live together up in Gun Barrel for a couple of years, and that didn't really work out. As soon as I think that happened, like the week of, or maybe even a month before, it's fuzzy because that's not really important anymore. Like those events.
Yeah, yeah.
Alec Devine actually hit me up. You know who he is? Divine
No,
Dev.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he hit me up and he's like, "Yo, are you still making music?" And I was like, "Not really, but you know, why? What's up? Why are you hitting me up?" And he's like, "Well, there's this open mic competition down in Fort Collins. We're looking for somebody to push some tickets, and we're wondering if you want to do it." And I was like, "Dude, my life could not get any more awkward at this moment in time. So let's go back to being a rapper." And so I went up there and I like had emotion from my relationship, so I just like put it all up on stage, and I think it was like Liquid Assassin's team and whoever was like 4-2 Records at the time hanging out there, and they were all, I don't know, some people gave me some good advice, some other people, you know, told me I sucked, but I met so many people through that one show, and I was like, man, maybe this is like my calling. And I think it was ever since 2013 I have been grinding my ass off. Like every single weekend I've been trying to perform. I'm almost to my 100th show, actually.
So was that like, how do I say this?
It was the moment.
That was the moment? Like
Yeah.
what moment though exactly? Because like you could just go to a show and freestyle. Was it from just the energy you were getting back, or?
I felt I felt like there was a purpose. It was not just the energy that was like I was getting back, but it was like, you know, when you get like high off of dabs and it's like gets you really,
I've
really
never done
high.
dabs.
When you smoke a bowl and you get like really high and you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, this feels awesome. When I was on stage, I used to ride motorcycles too with my family. And that is one of the best adrenaline highs. You like just full throttle, fourth gear, go off a jump, going up a mountain, just getting it. Like that's such a good high, almost as good as sex. I'd argue it's almost as good as sex. Being on stage is up there. Like that feeling that you get, the like pure serotonin rush, you feel all the vibes, everybody's like rocking with you and stuff. Watching my boys, like when I saw AK a couple weeks ago, he was vibing with everybody in the crowd so heavy, and it reminded me of that feeling. Like the first few times that I was on stage, just like it felt so good. I didn't even care if I was like making sense or it sounded good. It was just, yeah, this is mine for 15 minutes. And then you like get off and you're like, just like sex, you're like, oh, that was awesome. I want to do that again. Let's go. Like, let's come on. But you can't just rush into it. You gotta set it up. You gotta make it. Don't force these things. You gotta. I try.
So that was like maybe the thing that like got you started.
Yes. And then,
But then did you fall in love with like writing and stuff like that afterwards, or because you always like poetry?
so like writing's been super difficult for me. I try to write these super lyrical, make you think complex rhymes. And when you're at a club and you're drunk, and somebody says like insubstantiate or like, you know, multi-syllable anti-disestablishmentarianism or something like that, you pause for a second, but your brain doesn't, like, this guy's just thesaurusing me right now. Mr. Intelligent over here, I'm trying to get drunk. What are you doing? Like, so I've been trying to write pop songs for the last 7 years, and I don't think I can actually write pop songs. I know that I'm not a juggalo artist or a strange music artist at this point, but I just like vibing, dude. Like there's songs I have that I feel fit pop. Wrote some love songs. I'm in a metal band now. Like I can get down.
So from what I'm hearing from you is that you're still kind of discovering
Definitely
yourself
I
in like your art.
I feel that way, but at the same time, it's just the being an entertainer that's like part of my art. Like when I first started doing this, kind of like a drug addiction, I would take my paycheck and people would be like, yo, you want to come do this show? It'd be like strange music artists like Mayday or Ritz or I don't know, even off of Psychopathic like Boondocks or Blazy Dead Homie or something like that. And I'd be like, yes, I want to do that. And I'd like, without hesitation, drive down to the venue, grab tickets. And then I would, hey, you guys want to come to my show? You guys want to come to my show? Everybody would be like, we're not coming to your show. we're not going to do that. So then I'd be like, shit, I want to perform. And they're like, it's $300. Like, we need that money back. And so I'd just be like, well, fuck it. Either I'm going to spend this money hanging out with my friends, getting high, and we're going to rap in a circle like we do, or I could just give them my money and then I could go pretend to be famous for 15 minutes. And for a good, I'd say 3 years when I first started, definitely like lost more money than I made, like thousands of dollars, but it was worth it. Like I've opened for Twisted, I've opened for Aaron Carter, I've opened for Tech Nine. These things are not out of my pocket. These are opportunities that came to me after I'd spent all of this money. Years of me thinking that this is how you become an artist, and I was going to give up. Like nobody cares about my stuff. This is all for me, and I could come do it anytime. Just like you said, I could just go to a bar and freestyle. And then I actually talked to some really good heroes of mine, Liquid Assassin, Black Pegasus, and Divine, and they like kind of sat me down and they were like, yo, dude, like it's not supposed to just be here. Like you're not supposed to be like, oh, look, I like this thing and I do it and I'm the best at it. And I don't even want to be the best at it. I just enjoy it. And I want other people to enjoy it with me. And that's the moment for me. I think it was 2014, 2015. So it was about 2 years in. Just done a show opening for Crazy Bone, the first time I ever hit a joint on stage. And I was just like out of money, out of patience. My family was like, you need to like focus up and like, this is ridiculous. And then I ended up going to college for sound production. So
there you go. Yeah.
So I was like, if I can't be the best rapper, I can help the best rappers sound fucking good. And that's actually helped my career out a lot. Like knowing the ins and outs of sounds, how I could help other sound engineers out. The other night, the sound guy, bless his heart, he was like having ring back on my friend's William the Great's mic. So I just reached over and unplugged his mic so I could do my verse. And then his verse came back up. I gave him back the mic, plugged it back in, and the sound guy still wasn't doing his job too correctly. So I just handed him both mics, and he was double fisting it. We were just passing mics back and forth at the end of the set. It was really entertaining, but it's a journey, not because I ever thought I would be where I am, but now that I'm here, just like you said, I'm still discovering stuff. I just don't want to stop. Like I can't stop, won't stop. And for the love of music and the love of Colorado, I'm going to take as many Coloradans and as much of Colorado with me wherever I go.
Heck yeah, man. So that's a lot to unpack right there. So at this point, you went over a lot.
Yeah. No, you're good.
But
we can revisit.
Yeah. So you're going through all these. You're doing all the shows, and you're. Sounds like you're networking a lot.
Yes, that one of the things I do is bring people together.
So I've noticed that with like a lot of different people I've talked to, like even doing like podcasting, I like it because you get to network.
Yes.
Like it's awesome. So I imagine it's similar. Like if you get featured on somebody's album, that's opening new doors for you.
We will even on that, like you in my network, there are probably other artists, not just like rappers, but like probably small business owners in your area, or people who think that they don't have a store. Probably people like you drink with at your bar, like vets and stuff like that, cops, bartenders, sex workers. Like you could bring in some people, black out their face, change their name, have some crazy stories, do some makeup murder mystery Monday, like Bailey Sarian up in this, and like I don't know. It's the platforms that we have, what we do with them is super important. The NFL over the last couple of years has definitely shown us like it's not the world of like politically correct and out of sight, out of mind anymore. If like if people have an opinion and people want to help other people, and you have a platform, then do it. Like go ahead, kneel. Like now people are paying attention. Like good. Let's keep the ball rolling. We all want to say we want to change the planet, but like day at a time, moment by moment, we can change people. We can't change the planet. We can change people. People theory.
So I'm getting more like, because what this channel is really about is like, I guess, getting into like again to read your story.
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, how do I say this? What was like probably your biggest accomplishments, I guess, so far?
So far, besides opening for Tech Nine.
Yeah, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. So let back up. Let's get into that. So
Okay.
how did you even get to the point where you're opening for Tech Nine?
Okay, so this is a story is kind of like a buzzkill for anybody who thinks that I'm cool for opening for Tech Nine, but it's also kind of important because it's like if people can gauge it off of 1 minute and 37 seconds, and they think that my career was enhanced by 1 minute and 37 seconds, then for everyone around me, 1 minute and 37 seconds is your time limit and moments of opportunity for you to make that opportunity a change or a benefit or have it being, because I met this gentleman, hopefully he's doing well. His name's Jake Fally Music, Team Fally. And we met up at the Roxy, I believe. No, we met up at 7th Circle, and we met through my homie Austin Howell. And Jake Fally kind of is one of those like super hardcore party song makers. Like, yeah, like he gets it. His energy is great, and he's also one of those kids that I don't think he did what I did in the beginning, but he had a wicked promo game. Like, I need everybody to hit up the Boulder Theater so that way I could open up for the Insane Clown Posse. And he got like 4,000 people to hit up the Boulder Theater, and he got put on that show, and it was crazy. And that's how he got on the tech show. He was doing it for like I think a couple years, maybe a year. I don't remember because he did so much like hardcore promo and was successful at it a number of times. We linked up in Denver a couple times. We were doing a song together. I don't think we ever recorded it, but it was super fun to perform. We did it live at the Insane Clown Posse show at the Boulder Theater, and we also did it live at the Tech Nine show down in Colorado Springs. But what was crazy is like he kind of asked me like what he should do and how he should approach different markets. And I kind of like on a whim, like gave him my opinion on stuff. So he linked up with me and like was treating me like his boy. And to this day, I'll still call him my boy, even if we had like a falling out or whatever. Bygones be bygones. He put me on the Tech Nine show, and he put me on the Insane Clown Posse show, but it was only for 1:37 for one verse on one of his songs. But at the ICP show, they cut our set, and we had some crazy things happen. There was like underground legends on that show. Ari the Rugged Man was there. All of the Insane Clown Posse, Violent J, and Shaggy Two Dope. Like people that like I didn't even know who knew who I was were like walking around being like, "What's up, Loktavious?" And I was like, "What in the hell? Like, what is going on here?" And then the same thing at the Black Sheep. I was the last artist on stage before Tech Nine took the main stage outside, and just like hearing. I was inside and the main crowd was outside, and as soon as I got done rapping, just like everybody's going outside, and I just hear technicians, and I'm like, ooh, that's what it feels like to be next to power. That's so cool. First time I was out of state was way before that. Aaron Carter was like the first Hollywood dude I've ever met.
So did you meet? Hold on, go back. So did you meet Tech at all? Or
Dude, I almost did. Embarrassing moment for me. I'm like in the room with everybody after sound check. He's all like doing the meet and greet, and I'm like, "Hey, yo, Tech!" And like all the fans turn around, and all the security guards turn around, and I'm just like, "Hi!" And turn around, like had like a little schoolgirl moment. I can't not fangirl around famous people, dude. Like that's also what I love about being on air as a sound engineer, stagehand. All like if you work with famous people, what the fuck is the point of working with them if you can't be like, oh, you're fucking famous? Can you sign my arm or my katana because you're Randy Jackson and that's all I had? Like I don't.
I think like a little bit of fangirl is fine. I think there is a point.
Oh yes, no, definitely don't be Knives Chow. If you catch my Scott Pilgrim reference, don't be that person that's like outside the window, like, I love you.
Well, because I'm thinking from my own, like if I was to like ever get famous, I think I'd want to just be treated like a normal person. Like as much as like it's probably nice to get like
yeah, there's a fine balance. Like, you know, to be reminded that you are famous, but like people who are just like, I don't know, like I'm at every one of your stands, you know, like stands. I wish I had a stand. I wish I had like a bunch of people that were like, look, Loktavious, we dyed our hair your color and we're wearing the same outfits. I'd be like, everybody, keep them away from me, please. Or I'd take pictures with them. I don't know. I'd probably take pictures with them. I'd be like, now go, my little Loktavious.
Like that's a good segue. So do you have like any, like have you ever met like crazy fans or people that are
Yes,
like on you? Like
back in the day, a lot of people like I looked like a scrub. Like it was pretty rough on the chin area. But they used to call me Pretty Boy in some of the Juggalo groups that I hung out in. And when I became an actual Pretty Boy, all the chicks from back in the day that thought I was wasting my time rapping, that have now heard my new music, caused some pretty interesting situations to happen out in public a couple of times. And I'm not gonna say names or anything like that.
No, you're good.
But Cockroach knows who Cockroach is, and yeah, no, it's an interesting thing because you don't go out. At least I don't go out like looking for that. The people who go out for the money and the fame and the girls, I see them, and dude, they look cool as hell, man. Like they got the chains, they got all the fucking scantily dressed bitches on them. But then I don't know what they do after the show. Like most of them, I like show up and I'm like, that guy's cool as shit. What's your name? And they're like, this. And I'm like, wow, I hope I hear that name ever again. What do they do afterwards? How much did it cost them to bring their friends? Like I spend money bringing my homies. Like I want everybody to have a good time. If I make money, that's a bonus. And if I make fans, that's even more of a bonus. And I don't know, recently, even William the Great and DJ Garfield have noticed that we've been getting more than just fans. And it's an interesting experience because you never really know the intentions of the people that you meet out in public. Sometimes you meet the really genuine people that they're just like, this is who I am. And then you're like, oh, cool. Like you get to hang out now, but very like diamond in the rough kind of people. Okay,
so how many followers do you have right now? You got like what, 5,000?
So do we do like you're judging off of like Facebook or how many CDs I've ever sold, or
I don't even know what to judge it on.
I've got this interesting platform called United Masters that I distribute my stuff off of. Shout out to United Masters.
So let's go off that because that's probably the most.
They group all my social statistics together, and then they kind of keep track of all my streams and stuff like that. So according to the internet, I have roughly 12,000 fans.
Okay, that's cool. So, do you think if you keep at it that you're gonna have that breakthrough moment where you'll blow up? Or do you think it's more of like a you just keep grinding and it's slowly gradual?
You know who Ludacris is, right?
Yeah.
So the only reason we know who Ludacris is because before we found out about him in his home state, he did 100 shows. That's it. That's my story.
So,
and I'm at my 98th on Thursday. Like this coming up is my 98th show. My headlining show is my 98th show.
So I heard this. I forgot where I heard it, but I feel like this is pretty true about anybody that does something of merit.
Yes.
That by the time you're hearing about them, you could like think, oh, that whatever they got it easy.
Oh.
But usually you're just seeing like a little piece. And
yes.
Before it's almost like an iceberg.
You get to see the cherry. Like when I like, bam.
When
and you're
they're
like,
at the top.
Damn, that shit looks fire. You didn't see me like scooping the ice cream out. Rotten bananas. Get that out of here.
Yeah, but it took a lot of work before someone ever, I would argue you're not like famous quite yet.
Oh, no.
But,
no, I'm not.
You could be. This could be like, I'd be like, oh, and I interviewed him. Like
yeah, I like that. I like hanging out with famous people too, man.
But
you're famous.
But what I'm saying is that it takes a lot of work to ever get that. I'm just wondering if like in your own experience, if it's gradual or if it's like you get bursts.
It's bursts. Like some days it's so defeating because you watch some of your peers like succeed violently. One of my current topics to complain about is how successful and easy Billie Eilish makes it look. Billie Eilish, I think, is one of the greatest artists of our time. And she's 19 years old and she has mental health issues. And I wish I was Billie Eilish. Like no joke at all, dude. I am so jealous of the creative energy that oozes out of that human. But also like the burst, like when I first started doing this, I thought I wanted to do underground music. And I don't want to title myself. I want to be a musician. So when I finally got out of that, I went out of state for the first time, opening for Aaron Carter, saying that I've opened for Aaron Carter. Why? I mean, I want candy. But yeah, no, I get to say that. And that was like, okay, now more people are paying attention. And then my music gets a little better. I dropped my album while I was in college, one of many. It's, in my opinion, not that good now because I've had 7 years of improving. If you still listen to that album, thank you. People linked up with me in the underground because I was doing stuff right. Like I did a collab with Colorado's Black Pegasus and then put my name in a lot of people's mouths because I've been grinding so hard on shows. The underground heroes that I like open for have said my name. So then like just the moments of like meeting Fally was a really good moment for me. But then Austin Howell started throwing shows over at Lincoln Street Station and I was a regular over there. Plus I was running sound for him. So it's just like more and more exposure to high tier nationals and the locals. My name, I'm the only Loktavious. If you've heard Loktavious before, it's me. There's no other Loktavious. But it's the consistency, just beating the hell out of everybody with my name. And it's not even, I don't even think I was good then. And then I opened for Tech. And my teacher, Jangles, he brought me to the back room and he shook my hand and he was like, "You did good, kid. Welcome to the next part of your career." And it blew my mind because I feel in this game or anime that I have in my head of my like life that I'm the only one that like can see like the fourth wall and shit like that. But people actually are paying attention to me and have been paying attention to me since 2017. So when me, DJ Garfield, and William the Great started buckling down and like being serious about our craft, stop making like jokes on stage, stop being obliviously drunk, like present ourselves, then people started caring a little bit more. And like we went out of state to Wyoming twice, we went out of state to Oklahoma, and like we just build. You can't be like, we did it, because like I did the Tech 9 thing and I was like, this is fucking cool, but now what? Just like his song, Who Do I Catch Now? I caught Tech in my own weird Pokemon game. Now what? And like that was the problem for like a really long time, as the now what. Got the job at the Roxy Theater as a sound engineer, and I've met every famous person in the underground you could possibly imagine. I've met Dax, I've met Tom McDonald. I've met Nova Rockefeller. Everybody from Strange Music. Everybody from Psychopathic. I've hung out with people like Futuristic, Chris Webby. I've hung out with like anyone everybody watching and everybody, you've listened to their music. I've shook hands with those people and they've given me like tips, little tiny like, hey bro, like dude. And I want to keep going. I want to bring my boys with me. I want to bring my people with me. I thought that in 2019 we were going to, dude, I got a drummer for the first time. We had this hit song with our people called Benjamin's Bitches and Beer. We were doing a bunch of stuff, and it seemed like our energy was like plateauing. Every time we performed, people lost their shit. More and more fans. We started getting merch. We started getting money. This is awesome. And then like this crazy thing happened called COVID-19, and yeah, kind of fucked everything up for me. And I was like had all my eggs in the basket of like, I'm gonna get out of my parents' house, gonna start my life up. All of this is gonna. I was getting paid really well doing what I did, but my mind just kept wandering because how progressively like I was getting fucked by the situation, which I'm not gonna get into that. But that's how I ended up on the radio. And me and DJ Garfield are on 92.9 FM, the Gartavious show every Thursday. And we kind of do what you do, but on the radio. Like we're here for Colorado, the people of Colorado, musicians, business owners, survivors, warriors.
Heck yeah, man. So how they shut everything down with COVID?
Yes.
And so that whatever momentum you had just kind of...
I felt, because like I released some music during the pandemic, and actually I think In My Zone I released right at the beginning of the pandemic, and it's become my like most popular song. People like, hey, what's up? And like sing my own song to me, which is really fucking cool.
Oh, that does have to be cool.
But like I love people. Like I don't crave it or need it. It's like I love it to make people smile. And sure, I like having the limelight on me, but I like having other people be successful and me participating in that as well. Like if I could become a promoter, I would totally do it. It's just everybody makes it look insanely hard, and I want to hang out with people. I don't want to get stressed out, worry about thousands of dollars paying people and shit like that. I want to get paid, you know?
Well, I feel like if you want to be, if you're trying to like achieve something, like grow a podcast, be a magician, be an actor, all that, like fame, I feel like is almost kind of secondary.
Depends on what your version of fame is. Because like technically in town, they're like, oh my God, it's the famous local rapper. And I'm like, no, I live with my mom. So stop.
No, but my point being is like, if you focus on like the quality of your content and you keep at that,
yeah, well, people notice.
You're going to get to where you need to go.
What's the difference between confidence and fake confidence? Nothing.
You don't think so?
Not a damn thing.
I think I do think as you get better at something, you do gain confidence at it.
Yeah, well, no, the practice makes perfect, but if you're practicing shittily, then you're going to be perfectly shitty, if that makes sense. You got to risk it to get the biscuit sometimes, and then also the worst thing in my experience that happens is people say no. Like the worst feeling as a musician, and probably even as a content creator, is negative feedback, especially in the moment of what you're doing, like a boo on stage. Like, that irks so bad. But one of the coolest things I've ever seen DJ Garfield do is like, boo, you fucking suck. And DJ Garfield looks up and he's like, fuck you. And it turns it up more and fucking like goes into this crazy fucking mix. And he's like, do I fucking suck now, motherfucker? And I was like, that's my boy, dude. DJ Garfield's the shit. No, but I know I talk about him a lot. I would not be here in my career if it weren't for DJ Garfield, especially, and William the Great. Like, those are my brothers in arms in this shit. And we together are the great Gartavious, but each of us has our own life and story that we're trying to like, the negatives of our lives, we're trying to not define us as men. And then also at the same time, we all passionately love what we do. And we got to thank everybody involved, but at the same time, we have to keep going. In my opinion, I think we need a manager. To be completely honest, like there's so much shit going on. Like it's just if someone could be like, "Hey, focus up and go do this stuff," it might be better.
How important it would be to like, and this is completely off base. It's just my random mind.
You good
for like paying to get marketing out there?
So, not to give out industry secrets or anything, you definitely have to pay for marketing. And I've paid for multiple types of marketing. The worst thing you could ever
I don't
do,
think it's a secret.
the
But
worst thing you could ever do as a content creator, business owner, anybody, is buy fake likes on Facebook. Don't do that. Don't buy
is
fake.
this from experience?
Don't buy fake streams. Don't buy interactions. Don't buy don't fake it till you make it on the internet. Fake it till you make it in real life. You know, like the internet doesn't matter. You asked me at the beginning, how many fans you had? You went straight to my Facebook numbers. Yeah, dude, I bought in some fucking Facebook likes. How many interactions do you think that I get out of those Facebook likes? None. That's why I stopped doing that. I'd say about 1,000 likes on there are bought, but I still get such a low decline on my organic reach because of the bots that I have sitting on my account. Like it limits the organic, the radio show I have, the Gartavious show, between me and Garfield, that actually has way more organic interaction because we just like upload photos, people comment on it, we let it sit. We don't like mass spam it. Also, rappers, OnlyFans girls, please stop spamming everybody with your links. There's proper ways to promote. And 4 a.m, mass Facebook messages, SoundCloud
God.
rappers. Shouldn't do that. Just one SoundCloud link in a group. Bam, go.
So it'll kind of open the door to like my own podcast. When I wanted to do this,
Yeah.
I wanted to do this like a year ago. But the problem is out here in Platteville, the internet is crap.
Mhm.
Okay. So what I did was I did tons of research. And I was just obsessed with like doing a podcast. Like I just lived and breathed. Like,
Well, dude, it looks really good in here.
thank you.
Yeah.
But this is from just like obsessively thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then I finally got better internet and I was like, I'm doing a podcast. And so all of that research like basically got dumped in like 1 month. So I've been only doing this for like actually filming and stuff like that for about a month and a half.
Damn.
So what I've learned though is that if you do go, because I looked at it, I was like tempted. I like looked at buying like followers and all that. But the problem with that is that, especially on like YouTube, if you were to buy,
It fucks with the algorithm.
it messes with the algorithm. So anybody that's watching this that's like a content creator,
Yeah.
what happens is they'll send the bots, and yeah, your numbers will go up. But then because there's the most important thing on YouTube is
Playtime.
playtime,
And that's
yeah, yeah.
not just on YouTube, even my Spotify, even if I sold someone an album, if you play each of my songs, you're like, that was a great album, but you only listened to 20 seconds of my album. You didn't listen to my fucking album.
Yeah, you play if you play through the like a good majority of it,
But
and that's
what,
gonna help.
That's what we want. I'd rather have 50 people honestly check out my link, which by the way, you could check me out at soundcloud.com/Loktavious.
Oh, I'll put all the links. We'll go over it again, and then I'll put them in the.
I'd rather have 50 people check out my music and all 50 of them listen to the whole song and all 50 of them be like, you fucking suck, don't do this. And then buy 5 million plays on SoundCloud and then for the rest of my life be like, I have 5 million plays on SoundCloud. Like, that's some fucking ignorant shit, in my opinion. Like, there are artists out there that can get away with that. They need their PR teams. I'm not going to name names, but some famous producers, bands, rappers, they've done that and I've gotten caught. But at the same time, they're still dope. And the only reason that they can get away with that is because the PR teams and people behind them already have a momentum on the name. And it really, dude, the marketing game in music is retarded. Like, I just want to make music. I need to not think about this stuff.
Yeah, you're good. Because I do think there is a point where maybe if you did buy those likes and follows, because there's a thing called social proof, where if other people are looking at it.
Justin Bieber, Lil Nas, and I think Five Finger Death Punch. They're definitely like not all their shit's bought, but like any social media site, you could tell. Like if Eminem has 9 million followers on Instagram, yeah, probably some of those are bought because I doubt that there's 9 million people who are like, what kind of beanie is Eminem wearing today? Yeah, no, but it's different for when you're at our level. Like we need and crave actual feedback. Like I just actually signed up my radio station for Google reviews. Like you could get Google to set up this as a business location.
Yeah, I've already done it.
And yeah, and then like after I'm done, dude, if you have this as your business, I'll go on and give you a 5-star rating. So that way your statistics go up, your SEO goes up, and then it makes everybody look good, especially if you hang out with honest people. And that's another thing in my music over the last couple of years that I would much rather work with an artist that thinks they're shitty but is honest than ever work with a great artist that is a shitty person. Because we all, as creators, we need the team that for whatever's happening to like function. Otherwise, it's like, I don't know. You have one artist like, I'm the shit, but if he has a sound guy that doesn't respect him or is not good, maybe it won't translate right. So then he's gonna throw a fit on stage, or like your merch team doesn't bring merch from one location to another. You shouldn't like throw a temper tantrum on stage in front of your fans and like yell at your team because it kind of makes you look not that cool. I don't know. I'm speaking from experiences, not mine. I've watched other artists make fools of themselves, and that's another thing. Every time I go to a show, I'm still learning. Like Loktavious isn't just me on stage. Loktavious, the student, is when I go to shows. Loktavious, the fan, when I'm at other people's shows. Like right now, I'm Loktavious. But dude, when I'm online watching your stuff, I'm Fantavious for you for sure. Like this is really cool, man. I don't get to hang out with a lot of people that do this. So.
Oh no, I'm glad to have you on. So I had a question. So you have Loktavious, right?
Yes.
But then you're also with Controlled
Demise. And I'm not like with them. It's like a D12 thing. Like people don't even know the name of my band. but no, Controlled Demise. I got Zach, Chepe, Storm, and Joey. Great group of people. I think they just added a new guitarist too. I'm just their rap feature. But yeah, they're my band. My band, Zach. We went Grand Junction. We opened for Eyes Set to Kill. We opened for Nephrectomy a couple weeks ago, and we opened for I the Breather. And as a rapper, that is so cool to break out. Like, yeah, Aaron Carter, cool, that's awesome. But I got to go perform with and for metal bands, bro. Like, I'm a rocker, fool. Yeah, like, that's just fucking cool, man.
So, do they put you like? Is this songs being written with your raps being?
No,
like part of them.
They just jam that shit, and they're like, "It's your turn," and I'm like, "Whoa, okay." I get it. And like I wrote like 5 different raps for it, but when it comes to working with, I call them actual musicians. I guess a band. When I work with a band, I haven't like had to feel I guess it's the ride or the rhythm of what they're doing. Because I'm always used to DJ Garfield, just like 1, 2, 3, go, and you hit play, and like if you know the time of the song you wrote to, it should be easy. He could even stall it at effects, and as long as I keep rapping on time, when he brings it back in, it's still gonna sound like we meant to do that. But for a band, they're all looking at me now, Loktavious, and like the drummer, the guitarist, the bassist, like I start rapping like all I want, and it's really a different beast, like having that control over the music, you know.
So I don't know. This may be just my like outside. I obviously have not seen this a whole lot.
Oh no, you're gonna see us sometime.
But
it's gonna be cool.
Don't you think it'd probably, if it turned out better, if the song was written with intent to have you in it?
So they wrote it with intent of a feature, and I didn't know if I would fit. Like these guys are like slam. No, not slam. I'm gonna get yelled at by Shane. Damn it. They are new metal. They are rock. They are black metal, like deathcore, Colorado. It's really hard to describe them because
I heard them and they do sound amazing.
Dude, they sound amazing. So please check out Controlled Demise.
I'll probably
Memories
put a little snippet in
please.
at some point.
Please.
I can hear it.
But I just do like what you hear. Like you're gonna play some of my music too. What anybody hears. We haven't released the song yet. I'm just doing that with a band. Like that's it. Like I don't change shit for me. I wish I could sing when I'm on stage with them. I've started like being his hype guy, and I'm not really a metal dude, so it's kind of weird. He's like, say it with your chest, Loktavious. I'm like, or like little Simba around a bunch of like full grown lions. It's just so cool. Like I love music, man.
So have you ever thought about getting like, do you sing at all?
Actually, in my upcoming projects, and if you're gonna be at any of my upcoming shows, yeah, I've been working on my vocal range. I suck. Like I'm not a good singer at all. My brother, hi Danny. My brother can pick up any instrument and be good at it. Has amazing, beautiful vocal range. Actually, one of my songs has him as a feature dedicated to the Dancing Angels, DTTDA on Spotify. A lot. I can't sing, so I go to karaoke and people are like, "Oh, you're gonna do Loktavious stuff," and I'm like, "Nope, I'm gonna murder your ears," and I'll like sing some like emo stuff from 2001 whatever, 2005. Sugar, we're going down swinging. Hawthorne Heights, Ohio's for lovers. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. Three Eyes Blind.
Yeah.
Three Eyes Blind, No Jumper. Yeah. Just because it's like, I don't know. It's not what I do.
So have you ever thought about getting like
Coaching?
like vocal training?
Yes. It's just not in the cards right now. Like, even getting here this week, for me, I was just like, oh shit, the one thing I need to do this weekend, and I'm going to show up late to it.
I'm actually really, so I hope this, you don't take this wrong. I was nervous that you weren't going to show up just because of some of the way you were wording things. I was like,
you gave me the opportunity. One thing, I give you the respect you give me. This is a great setup. Like, I've been into multi-million-dollar studios and haven't had
hot, but it's because I don't want to.
No, it's fine. Maybe you'll get a little low HVAC system. Maybe you'll get a different location sometime soon, because this is great. It's just I feel like you're gonna add a lot more to it, especially if you're gonna have another camera and camera operator.
Yeah, people don't see this. Maybe I'll cut into that, but there's like I want to have more cameras.
Obviously. Yeah, no, and then you get the program where you cut it. So like have a camera operator like.
If I had a Jamie, like Joe Rogan, then that would be awesome. Because when you were like, "Hey, show like control," we could throw it up, but I don't have a Jamie.
Well, you could do like a version of ridiculousness that doesn't have Chanel West Coast in it.
Oh yeah.
But no, dude, thank you for having me out.
Oh no, definitely. So, is there anything else like you would want to hit on before we wrap everything up?
I'm not sure when this is going to come out, but I'm going to plug my shows that I have coming up anyway. There's no rush to edit this. My 100th show won't be till probably October or something like that. I'm going to give it some breathing room so that way people can build the hype like we were just talking about. I got my headlining show this upcoming Thursday at Antero Hall or X Saloon. I don't know if you know.
It takes me like a week to edit these, so it probably...
No, it's fine. But Uncle Nasty used to put on a bunch of bands from KBPI on there. So it's just like, one of those echelon moments where it's like, this is cool to me. And everyone else is like, why are you performing like an hour away? And I'm like, but famous people, guys. They got some amazing speakers there. They got amazing lasers. I'm friends with the light guy and the sound guy. And I'm friends with the promoter. Like, Colorado live music is coming back so hard right now, and like the pandemic sucked, and we might still be in the pandemic, which is some conspiracy stuff. I don't know if you like conspiracy stuff. I like conspiracy stuff. But live music's back. Colorado is here to party. This summer is going to be great. We got a show actually at Rock Solid next Saturday. I really hope to see you there. It's free.
Okay.
It's free. We're opening for Black and White Motion Picture, which
I think
Bart McCune's band.
How long have they been doing that? Because I swear I heard of.
He's the drummer. They've been doing it for a minute, and if you've been listening to my station, you've definitely heard them.
Because I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think I heard of them like 10 years ago. But I don't know if they've been around that long.
I don't know if they've been around that long either. We'll have to do some individual research on that. But definitely, you should show up on the 9th. And then besides that, I'm gonna have a show in Vegas, I think, in November. So
it's Vegas?
Yeah, that's so the other thing on that, like how many fans do you have? They give you demographics of where like people listen to your music, which is why you shouldn't buy your likes, because if all of your likes come from Beijing Ru or China Xingpang or whatever, some country in Africa, it's not going to show up on your analytics, and then you're not going to have anywhere to go perform. So if you just, send out your music, then it's like Las Vegas, Seattle, Miami, Chicago. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. I have a list of places I need to go now.
Yeah. So like getting kind of back on that, like, how podcasts go, but also you don't get to like appreciate the work you've put in if you just buy those, because like if it was just bought, it's like
if it was real people, like you bought 1 million views and it was like kids in China, and you're like, damn, I wish people paid attention to my podcast. And you like, they had flags of you and like little plushies of you, and they're like, oh, Samson, we went to hear you, Samson. Like,
well, yeah. My point being is like, so when I started this, it's you could get easily discouraged.
Oh yes.
Right. So you're like, oh, 25 people watched my video. But if you really, in my first podcast I did, shout out to I Was Owned.
Yeah.
He was talking. He has 100,000 followers on Facebook. He does gaming videos.
No, see, that's what's up, dude. I don't know nothing about gaming.
Yeah, but he does gaming videos.
Tip my hats to those streamers.
And we were talking about it, and he was talking about when he first started doing it, he had like 25 people watching.
Yeah.
And he worded it in such a good way. He said, 25 people, that's like a whole, if you had them in front of you, that's a classroom full of people.
That's a crowd, bro. How many people do you think? It was like, what, 50 people
and
at that show?
Once it kind of that clicked for me, I was like, wow, that actually is cool. So now that I have like videos that have like, they're not crazy, but they're 200 views, I'm like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That means 200 people.
That's because you just started?
Yeah.
That's amazing, bro.
That's amazing.
I got songs from 9 years ago that don't even have 200 views.
My point, though, is that that really adds that, like, you get, oh, hell yeah. If you're watching this, please subscribe to my YouTube, though, too, because we're trying to get to 100 by summertime.
And subscribe to my YouTube, too, just because.
Self-plug.
Subscribe. Like. Hit that bell in the corner. Bing!
But no, yeah, you're right. Like, if you just buy them, it's just...
Again, it's different for other people. Like, different strokes for different folks. I've ran into these pages that are elaborate, since we're talking about game stuff, and I'm a nerd about stuff. Like, I can connect my music life to literally anything. George Washington is the reason I'm Loktavious. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But like these ARGs that all these crazy nerds make, like, shout out to anyone who's smart enough to like put spectrograph sounds in their shit or like code in the background of an image. ARG sites. I think Poppy is a good artist. That's an example. Or I Am Dad on YouTube. It's just like, why do you have 5 million subscribers? Oh, this is part of a story, like horror in video games, and then ARGs related to those horror video games. I don't know if you know who MatPat is with his whole.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and then there's like Markiplier, of course.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, dude, ARGs that implement reality to that aspect. Of course, like you said, suggestive social imprinting or whatever. Like, oh, this person has 5 million views. They must have such a big following. So you give them an actual view. So by the time the bots run out, social proof, yes. It's beautiful, bro. What we got going on right now is in my opinion, the beginning of the American Renaissance. People are creating, people are not being slaves to masters that all you were born to do is make 10 cents while I make $1. No, we weren't. We can do whatever we want. And proof of the pudding is just like, over the last couple of years, we had a black president and an idiot president. And if that could happen, like anybody on the planet could do whatever they want. Zelensky over in Ukraine is probably the biggest soldier I've ever seen in my life. And he's a comedian. He went from comedian to president to saving boys and girls from monsters. Like, that's so cool. If that's what the reality we live in, all of us have the power to do whatever we want. And that's just a theory. A people theory.
Oh yeah, from a quote from that show Game Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to put all your links and stuff in there.
Coming out with the new album soon. It's called They Said. It's going to be this chapter of Loktavious. This is the magnum opus of this chapter of Loktavious. Everything after this album is going to be, I'm going to be very Machine Gun Kelly in my experimentation about it, but I'm way better than Machine Gun Kelly, so there's that.
Well, we kind of have to experiment, right?
Yes, because I'm not a rapper. I'm an artist. I want that very clear. I rap. I happen to rap, but I am an artist.
Well, I think a little bit of like Machine Gun. I think Kelly gets a lot of hate because he's
dumb.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding. He's very vocal, and
I mean more like he gets hate because they say he sold out, but he was already famous.
No, dude, he makes good music. Like, I want that candy, yeah. Or shit, he got this song with Tech Nine, which is actually what started the Eminem beef. And then even Rap Devil. He's no rap devil. I'm more of a rap devil than that guy.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
but
I get the hate he gets.
That was some good bars. Like,
I get the hate that he gets, but I'm more pointing out like the fact that I don't think you should hate him for switching genres.
No,
he is an artist.
No, just hate him because he did what everybody wishes that they could do, and he clout chased Eminem like a motherfucker. And
he definitely did.
Everybody wishes we could be like, fuck Slim Shady and become famous, and that motherfucker did it. That's why everybody hates him.
That's fair. I guess it was a little bit like. And maybe this is random off topic, but I did get a little bit like, oh, really? Because I liked his rap.
Yeah.
And then he like all of a sudden was doing poppy stuff.
Yeah.
So I felt like as a fan a little bit.
Wasn't it David
jaded,
or
but
Travis Barker? Like Travis Barker and Halsey and him like made a band or whatever. They got crowned king and queen of rock last. Like, dude, I am so about destroying the entire music scene right now. Machine Gun Kelly and Halsey are the king and queen of rock and roll, then that means Tech Nine and Eminem are like the goats of hip hop right now because they're alive still and they could fucking murder and massacre any single person on a track. And
Well, I think
then
it's funny, like-
Dua Lipa and Billie Eilish are the next biggest things on the planet, and they're already like the biggest things on the planet. It's fucking beautiful.
Oh, she's killing it. You said Billie Eilish? Yeah, she's killing it.
The one thing I don't understand, and maybe someone can help me on this, is why is there this war in the trill scene in the southeast of America? Like, I've been rapping for a long time, and I've been part of different cultures. I try to avoid the gang stuff, and I get culture is culture and family is family. But holy fuck, dude, do you see all of the craziness that goes on? All the way from Florida, all the way up, like, through the Bible Belt and up towards Canada. Like, kids are making music about how they're killing their op, and then
that stuff.
instead of being like I'm a kill you, they describe how they kill their fucking person and like release it on. The best one was the Vanessa Carlton, who I smoke. That was so catchy, and I think that kid caught like 20 years in jail because he admitted to killing 3 people on a like. What are you doing?
Well, they're making the jobs for the cops easy. But...
No, definitely. Then also shout out to the men in blue. Like, yeah, fuck the police because I'm a rapper, but also I don't want to get shot at. So thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate your service.
Well, I think we've hit everything we can. Not going too crazy.
No, dude, I'm coming back and I'm gonna ramble next time too.
If you want to, we could keep going. But
I appreciate you having me on, dude.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we'll wrap it up, and yeah, man, it's been fun having you.
Dude, thank you so much. Thank you.
They once loved me, Loktavious, I am electrical. Spark dark thoughts with words, pull you all into this spectacle. Respectable, your desires to provide, detectable. All your selfish human pride. You see what I am saying, swaying in your sea. A sea of moments lost in space, that is all you'll ever be. Not me, I plan on returning to my prior state. To shift the shape of seas is towards what I gravitate. So hate, or do whatever keeps you sane. Stay inside and lock your doors, there are enough out in the rain. There are enough who claim insane, enough who claim they beast, enough who get locked up, enough who forget to eat. There are enough soldiers of the same cause, killing one another for colors, living 2 lives to survive, hiding vital info from others. Like wearing when it was that they've been shotlined to their mothers, family, friends, and anyone who cares, enough riders and abductors. No, this is not a call to arms or something dumb. This is a message to all you fucking idiot. So I get bums, yeah, gay. Literally the only reason this song exists is to diss you and your mom. Now I hope you are pissed. Fuck you and your shoes, fuck your hat, fuck your favorite scene, fuck your couch and your dog in the color green. Fuck your homies and your sister too. Fuck hip hop and the American dream. Ooh.